Yo, yet again, we are here. Nico Rico. He gonna drop the topic. Go ahead.
All right. I mean, if you say it like that, it's not the same. So the topic for today or tonight, whatever it is gonna be movie analysis. So what makes a good movie, right? I think what makes a good movie. I think one of the since we're emotional creatures, I think the number one concern about a studio and a director is how to make the movie not so much dramatic but emotional. There's got to be a lot of emotion in the movies, and you also got to build connections between the characters.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, something important about a movie, which Endgame did a lot of, was an emotional roller coaster. You were happy, then you're sad. You're happy, then you're sad. You're happy, then you're sad. For great example, when Cap, Iron Man, and Thor fight Thanos, that makes you happy. Wow, finally I get a second chance. Then they get beat up. Then the Hawkeye guy, he grabs the gauntlet. That's good. And then Thanos beats up Thor, and then Cap holds Mjolnir.
I'm glad this movie.
So it's a roller coaster. It's just a roller coaster.
I'm so glad this movie been out for a while. You're just giving away all the goodies. But okay, go ahead.
So that makes the audience really, really interested. So what was the movie? I think it was Fallout. When you also have to create a sense of urgency in whatever you're doing. It's not the same when you're trying to save a girl, right? And I'm the bad guy and we're fighting. You save a girl while she's hanging off a rope, that'll kill her.
Yeah. So
that creates that extra thing. I don't know if you remember in Sanchi, they were fighting in the. Oh no, you haven't seen it.
What Sanchi? I haven't.
Yeah, they were fighting in the bus, but the bus they lost the driver, and the girl didn't know how to drive. So it's like, we gotta do this, and you gotta fix it now. So that's exactly, which has to do with emotions. So I think it's all about emotions, because that's how you connect. You also have to be able to tell a story really well, like make it make sense. Like don't make people guess like what happened or why it happened. Just kind of tell them.
Okay. Well,
also, a mistake that a lot of movies make is they tell you the story, but they don't show it to you. I know. I can't think of the timeline. I keep thinking of Marvel movies, but it's not the same. Like, say, it's a scene where I tell you, say you forgot about me, because you got amnesia, and I tell you all the things we did together, blah blah blah. I might as well just go and read a PDF of Google. You need to be shown what it is for you to feel.
Isn't it the part of the movie though? Isn't that what the movie is gonna go through? Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, but you see what I'm saying? Like, it's not. I'm not telling you. I'm showing you. Maybe I'm telling you a story, but you're being shown. Does that make sense? When you're telling a story, you gotta show what the story is. You can't just sit and read it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
What do you think about all that?
All right. So
I've been watching a lot of videos, and I think I'm getting pretty good at it.
All right, Siskel.
And we're about to watch Top Gun in about an hour.
Yeah. So we'll see how that goes. So for me, this is a very subjective topic, and I am by no means a cinematographer expert, if that's even a word. Sorry.
Cinematographer.
Yeah. So when I look at it, what makes a good movie is, for me, since I like to write, for me, it's about the story. Most important parts of the elements of the story is character development, because a story has characters.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think if you do a decent job to great job developing a character and of allowing individuals to be able to relate to that character, either relate to the character directly or relate to that character's situation, you can understand why this character is in this situation and try to see and feel and think how this character is going to do, then regardless of what genre you're in, whether it be drama, thriller, mystery, action, you can see the human aspect of this character, no matter how fantastic their powers may be.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That way you can relate to them.
That's why when we look at Tony Stark, we understand he's rich, but it's not about him flaunting his money. His money is just access. That's why Batman, Bruce Wayne, can be rich, but it's not about them being rich. It's about them using their money for access to do the things that we see them do and the sacrifices they make, right? That's why we can look at Peter Quill, since you like these movies so much. You can see a Guardians of the Galaxy, and you can see Peter Quill relates to the Guardians like a family. You can see the aspects of family, and that allows them to be relatable. There's definitely some movies that you should watch that kind of give you a more rounded edge, like Good Will Hunting and Scent of a Woman, the older movies with older actors. Because when you start looking at like Robin Williams, when they play really like deep characters, what you see is the relatability, and in a story they're telling you a story. When the plot driven, you're trying to see about what's really happening, because sometimes it could just be an existence, a part of someone's life. You don't know why you're watching this part of someone's life, but there's not even maybe a lesson, but you're seeing an encapsulated life and see the value of that life. You could relate to seeing value in life, because we hopefully have value in our own lives. When it comes to like mysteries, one thing I don't like about certain movies, they tell you what happened before you watch it, and then you got to see the pieces of it put together. That done in certain ways is okay, but usually I don't like that whole Columbo style of, I see who the perpetrator is, but I have to watch the detective catch the perpetrator. It's going to be put together. He's going to catch him. So I don't really like that. But the only time that I look at movies when it comes to like sense of urgency is not just saving someone, but the sense of urgency when you know you're going to run out of time. Not like just saving someone in the moment, but look, I don't have a lot of time to do something. There's about to be something.
It adds in an extra layer of engagement with the audience.
Yeah, or if I don't do something, it's going to have a significant effect on someone else, or I have to achieve something, or whatever, the end of the game, or I have to, there's a big test coming up, or whatever the situation is. The only time I think that reading what's going on in a movie prior is in a historical reference. So like a war movie in 1944, XYZ, I'll read that. Don't put reading nowhere else in the movie, unless at the end, like the old movies like Conan the Barbarian, where you can kind of read, because it's epilogue. So it's like, it's part of a bigger story, and it might trips on something else. Or Star Wars. If you come into that movie and you don't know really what's going on, it gives you a prologue. So you're like, oh, okay, all right. Doesn't really explain what the movie's all about, but galaxy far, far away. All right. I see this is a space movie. Great. All right, cool. Doesn't really give you any forward of really what's going on. You got to really watch the movie.
It just introduces you.
Kinda, just words. Like I could watch the movie and kind of get what's going on.
Yeah.
But like I said, a good movie is a strong plot, good writing, relatable and good character development. And then also good presentation, good cinematography, good angles, good use.
Yeah, definitely
good music too. Good music and Easter eggs. The ability to sneak certain references in, certain like novelty things, especially like things that people don't really even look at, like a little bit for everyone, musical things, puzzles and tricks, and like things that they have a reflection in the movie, where if you go back and look, you look in the mirror, you get to see something, things that make people stop and look at every second of the movie, like an editor would, to see certain things like that are great. And then novelty, Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, things from prior generations reworked into newer movies is always a beautiful thing. Or when people stick to the subject material, or they stick to the spine of the subject material, or the heart of the subject material, but all the meat and the body of it can be newer. It could be up to date. Like, no, we didn't really want to see Wolverine be 6 foot tall and be wearing yellow spandex. That's what it was. But the presentation was good enough for us to accept. And then with proper character development and good presentation.
Oh, that's true. He never wore that.
Yeah, but he didn't mention it in the movie. And because he mentioned it in the movie, it satisfied that part of the original content. It does that for anybody, comic book reader, or those who read the book or whatever. Because a lot of books that are made in the movies are not true to the source material. But if you reference the source material in the movie, again, you keep to the heart and the spine of the original source material, but the body around it is a great presentation, great story on top of that. You can flesh out the characters, maybe you don't want to deviate too much from the plot, but you flesh it out, then you come away with something good. So that's my take. I've seen a lot of trash movies too, but there's that.
Yeah, I think that's I think great movies are very rich, very, very rich. I know Morbius. I haven't seen Morbius, but because it's the Spider-Verse and nobody gives a crap about the Spider-Verse. But from Sony. But they said that he wanted to cure his illness. So that's he was very, a very weakening in illness. So that's his reason to not become a superhero, but that was the goal that he's trying to achieve. Exactly. That was the plot. He wants to be better. But then after his illness was cured, he had nothing else to do. So does that make sense? So it's a very he has a goal, but
he wanted to help other people with his condition.
Yeah, but it's like
but his driving force was finding the cure.
Now Spider-Man, he used his powers to find who killed his uncle.
Yeah.
So that's this is, I don't want to say it's fuller, but it's a little bit of a bigger, more mature, issue. He's sick and he wants to cure his illness. It's not the same.
Yeah, but if you look at a character like Spider-Man is internally and externally driven by a lot of factors. They add things to Spider-Man to keep him going. Spider-Man is always trying to figure something out, and Spider-Man's always trying to prove himself to the ultimate machine that's around him. Spider-Man could just be the local neighborhood Spider-Man, but he always questions: is he good enough? Is he capable? Is he providing that service in his little pond to go further? He wants to be an Avenger and all that, but what keeps Spider-Man going to fight some of the villains he's fought and continuously keep going? What's it? You look at a lot of other heroes. There's a lot of other heroes that what motivates them is a tragedy or the publicity, the image, or things would be much worse if they stopped doing what they do. Spider-Man is one of the most profound heroes because, and this is a whole other topic when we talk about the profoundness of the heroism. When you look at Spider-Man's given things to keep him invested, he's given dilemmas. He's given things to wrestle with in a normal human life, regular relationships, his family being threatened, being Spider-Man, being loved, being hated, but still being really accessible. He doesn't really have supreme superpowers to where he can just be like, I'm out and I'm everywhere. He's really still a boots on the ground kind of guy. He very nimble and he's very flexible, but he has a lot of people in his city that really come after him. And you got to understand, Spider-Man's in New York. He is not the only superhero in New York. You got everything from Fantastic Four, Daredevil, Doctor Strange, Luke Cage, every just a little bit further south or other New York, you got the X-Men per se. If you want to consider Deadpool, there's so many in the Marvel universe.
They do need to diversify because I'm getting tired of New York.
But that's just how in Metropolis, that's how it works, bro.
It's just great how you also need a great actor too. You also need a great actor.
You need a good actor.
You need a great actor that can really send that message.
But you never know when you never, and I say this about Heath Ledger when it became being the Joker, and even Jared Leto, not Jared Leto, sorry, Joaquin Phoenix. Ooh.
Yeah, Jared Leto did not play the. He could.
Yeah, it just depends on who and what and at that moment. Like I swear that for the Joker and Heath Ledger's character, legendary. I tip my hat to Jack Nicholson when he did it because he was a classical actor. He was already well into it, but he was more mature when back in those days when we watched that movie back in '89. But Heath Ledger, sorry, Jared Leto, and then we look at Joaquin Phoenix and what he brings to it. They bring a sense of relatability. Jared Leto was more a cartoon character in that aspect. I'm more relatable with Mark Hamill being the Joker, because he's played it long enough so he embodies it now.
Yeah, it's like he is the Joker.
Yeah, he is a Joker. So it's one of those things, man. It's so fun. I was thinking about Chris O'Donnell the other day about him being Robin, and like, man, what happened to Robin? But it is what it is.
Man, Robin is so.
Why does everything come back to you've been on the superhero kick hard about it?
Yeah, I know. I'll get over it.
You know what? I know the next one's gonna be at. How long we been on this one? Because I know
July 8th is Thor.
July 8th is Thor. Oh, Love and Thunder. Well, we got, because you know what? Not on this one, but we need to talk about the hero and the anti-hero.
We'll do the next one. It's only 25. Let's finish this one off.
All right, guys. We're done with this one.
That one. We're done with this one. Like, comment, subscribe. What funny thing can I say? which one's better? DC or Marvel? Like, comment, subscribe, share it. Anyone who's not watching us is totally missing out. Thank you, Rico, for this podcast.
What do you think makes a good movie? And let us know. Please take an opportunity.
Oh yeah, we can make those jokes. Have a good one. I'm not gonna make it.